Chapter 1. The Start of My English Journey. Hello. I want to tell you about how I learned to speak English everywhere. It was not easy at first, but with small steps, I got better and better. If you want to speak English too, this story will help you. When I was a child, I did not know English at all. I was shy and scared to speak. I thought English was too hard, but one day, I decided to try. I wanted to speak English so I could make friends and travel to new places. That day, my journey began. The first thing I did was listen. I listened to English songs, cartoons, and stories. Every day, I spent time hearing new words. At first, I did not understand much. The words sounded strange, but I did not give up. I listened again and again. Listening helped me learn how to say words. It also helped me understand how people use English. When I heard the same words many times, I remembered them better. For example, I loved listening to a cartoon about a little bear. The bear's name was Tim. Tim said simple words like hello, friend, and play. These words were easy to learn. After listening, I started to speak. Speaking was scary because I made many mistakes, but I learned that mistakes are okay. They help us get better. I spoke to myself, to my family, and sometimes to my friends. I said short sentences like, "My name is," or "I like apples." Slowly, my confidence grew. Reading was another step. I read simple books with pictures. Pictures helped me understand the story. I read stories about animals, school, and family. One book was about a lost dog. The dog found its way home. It was a simple story, but I learned many new words. Reading helped me see how sentences are made. Writing was next. At first, I wrote small sentences about my day. I wrote about what I ate, where I went, and who I met. Writing helped me use the words I learned. I kept a small notebook and wrote every day. Sometimes I wrote about my dreams or things I wanted to do. Watching videos was fun. I watched cartoons, movies, and videos on the internet. Watching helped me hear how words are said. I learned the correct pronunciation and new phrases. One day, I watched a funny video about a dog and a cat. It made me laugh, and I learned new words like funny, run, and jump. Talking to people was very important. I tried to find friends who spoke English. If I didn't have friends nearby, I used the internet to talk to people. We helped each other practice. When I spoke with friends, I learned new words and how to use them in real life. Sometimes they corrected my mistakes kindly. I also learned to be patient. Learning English takes time. It does not happen in one day. At times, I felt sad because I did not understand something. But I did not stop. I kept trying every day. Step by step, I got better. Using a dictionary helped a lot. Whenever I heard a new word, I looked it up. I learned what it meant and how to say it. Then, I tried to use that word in a sentence. For example, I learned the word beautiful. I used it to say, "The sky is beautiful." This helped me remember the word. I also like to play games in English. Games made learning fun. I played word games and puzzles with my friends. We tried to find many words in a short time. It was a great way to learn new words without feeling like studying. Thinking in English was hard at first. I had to translate words in my head, but I kept practicing. Slowly, I started thinking in English without translating. This helped me speak faster and better. Setting small goals helped me stay motivated. I decided to learn 5 new words every day. Then, I tried to read 1 page of a book every day. When I reached my goals, I felt happy and proud. This made me want to keep learning. Reviewing what I learned was very helpful. I read my notes again and listened to the same stories. Repeating words and sentences helped me remember better. Sometimes, I repeated words out loud many times until they were easy to say. Staying positive was important. When I felt tired or frustrated, I told myself, I can do this. Believing in myself helped me keep going. I knew that making mistakes was part of learning, so I did not feel bad when I made them. Finally, I enjoyed learning. I sang songs in English and made up stories with new words. Learning was like a fun game. The more I enjoyed it, the faster I learned. So, if you want to speak English everywhere, remember to listen, speak, read, write, watch, practice, and be patient. Every small step takes you closer to your goal. That is the start of my English journey. I hope my story helps you start yours. Keep going, and you will speak English everywhere too. Chapter 2. Listening. Every day. When I started learning English, listening was the first thing I did. Listening is very important because it helps you understand how English sounds. If you want to speak English everywhere, you need to listen every day. At first, listening was hard for me. English words sounded fast, and I could not catch them. Sometimes, I felt confused, but I did not stop. I knew that if I kept listening, I would get better. So, every day, I listened to simple English stories, songs, and cartoons. Listening to stories was very helpful. Stories are interesting, and they use words we can learn easily. I listened to short stories about animals, friends, and daily life. One story was about a little girl who found a lost puppy. The story used simple words like puppy, find, and happy. I listened to this story many times. At first, I didn't understand everything, but after listening again, I began to know the words. Songs are also a great way to listen. Songs are fun, and the words come with music, so it's easy to remember them. I like to listen to children's songs because they used easy words and repeated the same words many times. For example, the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star taught me the word star. I sang this song again and again. Singing helped me speak English better. Cartoons are fun to watch and listen to. I watched cartoons with simple conversations. When the characters talked, I listened carefully to how they said the words. Cartoons helped me learn how to use words in everyday talking. I remember watching a cartoon about a dog and a cat. The dog said, "Let's play," and the cat said, "Yes, I like to play." I learned words like play and like from this cartoon. Listening to the news or adults talking was harder. The words were faster and sometimes they used difficult words, but I tried to listen a little every day. When I heard a word I did not know, I wrote it down. Later, I looked up the meaning and pronunciation. This helped me learn new words and improved my listening skills. Sometimes I used headphones to listen to English. This helped me focus on the words and sounds. I also paused the stories or songs and repeated some words. This way, I could say the words clearly and learn how to pronounce them well. Listening every day made me more confident. I stopped being scared when people spoke English. I began to understand simple conversations. When I heard English in the street or on TV, I recognized the words. This made me happy and motivated to learn more. If you want to speak English everywhere, start by listening. Listen to stories, songs, cartoons, and conversations. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Keep listening every day. Slowly, you will understand more and more. Remember, listening is not just about hearing words. It's about understanding and learning how to say them. When you listen, you learn the rhythm and sounds of English. This helps you speak better and faster. Here are some tips to help you listen better every day. Choose easy stories and songs. Start with simple words and short sentences. Listen with headphones. This helps you hear clearly. Repeat words and sentences. Say them out loud to practice pronunciation. Write down new words. Look up their meanings and try to use them. Listen every day. Even 10 minutes a day will help a lot. Listening helped me speak English everywhere because I knew how the language sounds. It helped me feel comfortable with English. Now I can listen and understand people in many places. So keep your ears open and listen to English every day. This is the first and most important step to speak English everywhere. Chapter 3. Practice speaking. Every day. After I started listening every day, the next step was to practice speaking. Speaking English is very important if you want to use it everywhere. The more you speak, the better you become. But at first, I was very shy. I was afraid of making mistakes. I thought people would laugh at me. But I learned that making mistakes is okay. Mistakes help us learn. To practice speaking, I began by talking to myself. Yes, talking to yourself is a good way to start. I would say simple sentences out loud. For example, my name is, or I like to eat apples. Saying these sentences helped me get used to the sounds and words. At first it felt strange, but I kept doing it every day. Next, I tried to speak to my family. I asked them to speak slowly and help me if I didn't understand. My family was very kind and patient. They listened carefully and helped me say the words correctly. Speaking to family helped me feel more confident. Sometimes I talked to my friends who were also learning English. We practiced together. When we spoke, we made mistakes, but we laughed and learned. It was fun to practice with friends. We helped each other. If one friend forgot a word, another friend helped. This made learning easy and enjoyable. If you don't have friends to speak with, you can talk to people online. There are many websites and apps where you can find friends who want to learn English too. You can chat, call, or even do video calls. Talking to people online helped me learn new words and practice real conversations. To improve my speaking, I also repeated sentences I heard in stories or videos. For example, if I heard someone say, How are you? I would say it many times. This repetition helped me speak smoothly. I also tried to use new words I learned in my sentences. Using new words helped me remember them better. Speaking in English every day helped me lose my fear. At first I spoke slowly and with mistakes, but every day I spoke a little more. I learned to listen carefully and respond. Sometimes I did not know what to say, but I tried to use simple words. I realized that speaking is not about being perfect. It is about trying and communicating. Here are some tips to practice speaking English every day. Talk to yourself. Say simple sentences out loud. Speak with family or friends. Practice together and help each other. Use apps or websites to find speaking partners online. Repeat sentences you hear in stories or videos. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes help you learn. Try to use new words in your sentences. One day, I was at a market. A shopkeeper asked me, "Do you need help?" I was nervous, but I said, "Yes, please, I want to buy apples." The shopkeeper smiled and helped me. I felt very proud. This was a moment I used my English outside. It showed me that practice works. If you want to speak English everywhere, you must speak every day. Even if it is just a few words, speaking helps you become confident and fluent. It helps your mouth learn how to say the sounds and your brain learn how to make sentences quickly. Remember, everyone learns at their own speed. Some days you will speak well and some days it will be harder. That is normal. The important thing is to keep speaking and not give up. Speaking English every day will open many doors. You can make new friends, travel, and enjoy movies and music in English. Speaking is the key to using English everywhere. So, don't be shy. Start speaking today. Talk to yourself, to your family, to friends, or even strangers. Practice is the secret to speaking English everywhere. Chapter 4. Reading to learn new words. After practicing speaking, the next step is reading. Reading is a wonderful way to learn new words and understand how English works. When I started reading in English, it helped me a lot to speak better and understand more. At first, I read simple books with pictures. Picture books are great because they show you what the story is about. If you don't know a word, you can guess its meaning from the picture. I remember reading a story about a little boy and his dog. The book had many colorful pictures. When the boy said, "Run, dog," I saw the dog running in the picture. This helped me understand the word run. Reading every day made me feel happy because I was learning new words. I started with small stories and then read longer ones. Sometimes I read books about animals, friends, or adventures. I chose books that were interesting to me. When the story is fun, you want to read more. When I found new words, I wrote them down in a notebook. I wrote the meaning and tried to use the words in sentences. For example, if I learned the word happy, I wrote, "I am happy today." Writing the words helped me remember them better. I also read English signs and labels around me. For example, when I went to the store, I looked at the signs like open, sale, or exit. Reading signs helped me learn practical words that I use every day. Sometimes I read aloud. Reading out loud helped me practice speaking and pronunciation. It also made me more confident to speak in front of others. If I did not know how to say a word, I asked someone or used a dictionary. Using a dictionary is very helpful for reading. When you see a word you don't know, look it up. A dictionary tells you the meaning and how to say the word. I carried a small dictionary when I was learning. Whenever I found a new word, I looked it up and wrote it down. Reading also helped me learn how sentences are made. I saw how words fit together to make meaning. This helped me when I wanted to speak or write. For example, I learned that in English we say, "I like apples," not "I like apple." Reading helped me learn these rules without feeling like I was studying grammar. Here are some tips for reading to learn English. Start with simple books with pictures. Choose stories that interest you. Write down new words and their meanings. Try to use new words in sentences. Read signs and labels around you. Read out loud to practice pronunciation. Use a dictionary when you find new words. Reading every day helped me feel stronger in English. It gave me new words to use when I spoke and wrote. It also made me curious to learn more. One day, I read a story about a girl who traveled to a new city. She said, "I am excited." Before reading this story, I did not know the word excited. After reading, I learned the word and used it to tell my friends how I feel when I am happy. If you want to speak English everywhere, start reading. Reading will give you many words, and it will help you understand English better. It will help you in school, work, and life. Remember, reading is not just for learning. It is also for fun. Enjoy the stories and adventures you find in books. When you love reading, learning English becomes easier. So, pick up a book today and start reading. The more you read, the more you will speak English everywhere. Chapter 5. Writing to grow your skills. Reading and speaking helped me a lot, but writing was another important step in learning English. Writing helps you use the words you know and make sentences on your own. When I started writing, I saw how much I could improve by putting my thoughts on paper. At first, I wrote very simple sentences. I wrote about my day, my family, and my hobbies. For example, I wrote, "I like my dog," or "Today is sunny." Writing these small sentences helped me practice grammar and spelling. I didn't worry about mistakes because I knew they would help me learn. I kept a small notebook and wrote in it every day. Sometimes I wrote about what I did at school or what I wanted to do on the weekend. Writing every day helped me remember new words and practice sentence structure. I looked at my old notes to see how much I had improved. This made me feel proud. When I made mistakes, I asked my teacher or friends to help me correct them. They showed me the right way to write sentences. For example, I used to write, "He go to school," but my teacher helped me write, "He goes to school." I learned many things from my mistakes. Writing also helped me get better at speaking. When I wrote a sentence, I said it out loud. This way, I practiced pronunciation and speaking at the same time. Writing and speaking together helped me improve faster. You can also write short stories or letters. Writing stories lets you use your imagination and try new words. I once wrote a story about a magic tree. It was fun, and I learned many new words while writing it. Writing letters to friends or pen pals in English is also a great way to practice. You can write about your day, ask questions, or tell stories. Here are some tips to start writing in English. Keep a notebook for your writing. Write about simple things every day. Don't worry about mistakes. Ask for help to correct your writing. Read your writing out loud. Try writing stories or letters. Look back at old writings to see your progress. Writing every day helped me feel more confident. I could express my ideas and share them with others. It also helped me learn new words and use grammar correctly. One day my teacher asked me to write about my favorite animal. I wrote about a cat. I said, "My cat is soft and cute. She likes to sleep." When I read my writing to the class, everyone listened carefully. I was happy and proud. Writing helped me speak better in front of others. If you want to speak English everywhere, don't forget to write. Writing helps you think in English and use your words correctly. It makes your English stronger. So, start writing today. Write about your day, your dreams, or anything you like. The more you write, the better you will speak English everywhere. Chapter 6. Using English everywhere you go. Now that you have learned to listen, speak, read, and write in English, it is time to use English everywhere. Using English in your daily life is the best way to become fluent and confident. The more you use English, the easier it becomes. I remember when I first tried to use English outside of my home. At first, I was shy, but then I decided to try small steps. When I went to the store, I greeted the shopkeeper by saying, "Hello, how are you?" The shopkeeper smiled and replied, "I'm good, thank you." This small conversation made me happy and gave me courage. Using English every day helps you practice and learn naturally. Here are some ways to use English everywhere. Talk to people. Say hello, ask questions, or share your ideas. Read signs and menus. When you go to a restaurant, read the menu in English. Watch English movies or TV shows. Listen carefully and try to understand. Write small notes or lists. For example, make a shopping list in English. Use English on your phone or computer. Change the language settings to English. Listen to English songs and sing along. This is fun and helps you learn pronunciation. Think in English. Try to name things around you in English in your mind. Join clubs or groups where people speak English. It can be online or in your town. I also found that making mistakes in real life is normal. Sometimes people didn't understand me at first, but they were patient and helped me. This taught me that it's okay not to be perfect. What matters is trying and learning. One day I traveled to a new city. I used English to ask for directions. I said, "Excuse me, where's the bus station?" The person smiled and gave me clear directions. I felt proud that I could use English to help myself. This experience showed me how important it is to use English everywhere. To get better, set small goals. For example, say one new English sentence every day to someone, or read one English sign and understand it. These small steps make a big difference over time. Another tip is to stay positive. Using a new language can be scary, but believe in yourself. Every effort you make brings you closer to your goal. Remember, Learning English is a journey, not a race. Finally, enjoy the process. Have fun with English. Play games, sing songs, watch funny videos, and make friends who speak English. When you enjoy learning, it becomes easier and exciting. So, start today. Use English at school, home, or outside. Speak, read, write, and listen every day. Use English everywhere you go, and soon you will see how much you have improved. You can do it. Believe in yourself and keep practicing. English is a language that opens many doors. When you use it everywhere, you connect with people, learn new things, and explore the world. Thank you for reading my story. I hope you enjoy learning English and use it everywhere you go.